Celeste, I have to say, I am so pumped to chat with you about all the things the Burb. Of course, I have to start by saying a congratulations
Thank
on the
you.
season 2 renewal.
Yes.
But listen, were you at all surprised that the show would be renewed for season 2? I'm sure you weren't.
I felt it in my bones. I love the show. Like I could still turn it on today and still tuck in and watch all 8 episodes, even though I know every line and frame. And just I've been so pleased and overwhelmed with the response. And the cast loves watching it. I love watching it. The people I love watching it. So I just kind of always felt that there would be an audience for it. So I didn't want to get too hubristic or arrogant, but I just love it, and there's so much more story to tell, and I think people love
Yeah.
spending time with these characters and want to, see them more.
Very much so. Like before you started working on it, right? First of all, what did that journey look like? Give me what was the timeline breakdown? Like how long was the writing behind the scenes in the work?
Yeah, so it started back in the summer of 2022. Seth
Mm,
MacFarlane, who's a huge fan of the original movie, partnered with Brian Grazer, who produced the original movie, and they were looking for a writer to bring on to the project. And, the movie is such an iconic movie, and I immediately had it's about outside, like the people who live in their neighborhood kind of ganging up on outsiders. And I immediately had an idea to, take the outsider perspective, in this case, a Black woman moving into a white suburb and kind of, starting to put together a mystery and then peel back the paranoia of the suburbs. And from the get-go, I wanted Keke Palmer. Like she is just the best. She's the best. I've been a huge fan forever. And she hasn't been a lead of a TV show since True Jackson VP, which is a crime to me.
yeah.
And I wanted to write a role that could really showcase her full range of humor and drama chops and all of that. So I came on, I developed the project. It was officially greenlit in the summer of 2024, and we got to writing and production, and that took about a year, and came out in February.
Oh my God, how was it working with Kiki on this particular project? Because I'm sure you were prior to the Burbs, very familiar with her career trajectory and like what her journey and her path looked like. But how exciting was it partnering up with her on this show?
She's truly a dream. She is not only an incredible person and so smart and so authentic and everything that we love about her, she also has such a great point of view and really infused this character with so much nuance and details that I could have only dreamed of. And she comes to set 110% every day. We had a no assholes cast. Like everyone really kind of rose with and met her energy. And she's just like,
Wow.
she's such a joy to work with. And I told her sometimes I like can't look her in the eye on certain days because I can't believe
Oh, I
she's
love that.
here. Like,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
just the way her delivery, her choices,
Yeah.
she's just incredible. And I feel like I'm so happy that the show's doing well for her because I feel like she's only a third of the way up her mountain. Like she's going to EGOT. She's gonna direct. She's gonna do I'm saying that because I think she might, but not because she's told me. But I just think she has so much that she's going to do. She is a
Yeah.
brand. She is a genius. Like I could talk about her forever. She, that Oprah talking about Gail video where she's like, I could
Yeah.
not know a better person. I love that.
I love that I can just see like your love and like and personal admiration for her, you
Yes.
know. So I love all of that. And I mean, the cast is just such a standout cast across the board anyway, hence all of the success. But I want you to take me back to this 1989 version of
Yeah.
the story. Were you, prior to writing this modern day version, were you familiar with the previous version of it? And I'm also curious, Celeste, like what intrigued you and the team to take the direction of creating a series versus another film?
Absolutely. No, I was 3 when the movie came out. So I
Oh,
didn't see it when it first came out, but in the 90s, watched it in a friend's basement. And actually I found it to be a scary movie. I didn't understand the social commentary of it. So
yeah.
revisiting it, it's just I think it's still timely. We're all the nosy neighbors. We're all peeking out the windows and creating conspiracy theories of what that car sitting on the end of the block is doing. And I think
Yeah.
especially coming out of COVID too, where we all were really stuck at home, kind of filling in the blanks of the little goings-ons we would see in our town. And I think, High Fidelity was the first show I worked on, and that's a show that had such beloved IP, a book and a movie. And so that was my approach to the Burbs was,
Yeah.
creating our own unique story, creating our own unique characters, but still building off the foundation and the DNA of the original movie and really still lacing in those Easter eggs for the original fans, but really, really leaning into a new story and a new perspective.
Was that journey challenging for you? Like intermixing the DNA from the original Virgin compared to, basically the rebirthing of the story? Did you find it very challenging, or would you say it was somewhat of like an avid flow, like
Yeah.
seamless, effortless?
Yeah, I think, when you do have an original IP, which I think, there's a lot of projects that have that now, I didn't find it as a hindrance. I didn't find it restricting at all. And I think, when you do use the North Star, if you're telling a new story, then you
Right.
can add in the elements like we always knew we wanted to do the iconic sardine scene, but how does it fit into
Mhm.
our story in a new way that tells the narrative that we're trying to get across. And I love that scene so much. Keke ate real sardines through the entire thing. The set stank. But that's the commitment she level she has.
Oh my God. I want to talk about the tone of
Yes.
the show because I just feel like it immediately hit home. I think I was literally probably 3 minutes into episode one. I'm like, OMG, this is literally everything. Like the tone that you set, the
Mhm.
overall creative approach that you took behind the scenes with making sure that when we kick it in, when we kick it off, we're kicking it off hard. Like, what did that process look like for you?
It's a tone that I've always played in. I think the best drama has comedy. I think the best comedy has pathos. And so I've always loved that dramatic, like dramedy tone. And then we add in the little thriller elements and the mystery. And I think what makes our show unique is that we do walk this line between different tones. We're a lot of things at once. And it was a hard thing to, thread that needle. But we had such amazing writers who come from all different genres who can really add to that. And I think, when we're blessed with such an incredible cast too, who can do the full range of tone, then it just really worked. And we stand out, I think, because we're not a hard comedy, we're not a hard mystery, we're not a hard
Yeah.
like thriller. We're all of those things, and it just makes it unique and fun to watch.
Oh my God. So let's talk about some of these episodes that you wrote. Were there any particular scenes? Actually, before I ask you that question, let me ask you this. Was it important for you to highlight certain things from the original version and implement within the 2026 version of the show? Like, were there certain things from that foundational piece that were very important for you to hold on to and to bring to the big screen this go round?
I think, there are the elements like I talked about, the sardine scene, but it truly, to me, I wanted to make a new commentary. I wanted the story of the outsider coming in. I wanted to talk about the microaggressions that someone who would experience in a white neighborhood. I wanted,
Yeah.
to highlight that it's not an authentic story and it's not authentic for Kiki's character to experience the world in that vacuum. And I wanted to really everything is approached with a light touch, but I think it gives us a way and an access and a way in to discuss heavier topics, which was really important to me throughout the process.
Very much so. Were there any particular scenes or episodes that you enjoyed most or that, you found to be some of your best or worst moments while filming?
I keep referencing the sardine scene, but episode 3 is one
Oh,
of
well,
my
it
favorite
is this
episodes.
sardine scene. Like this is an Emmy. I mean, it really is in real life, like an Emmy award winning scene and episode. But go for it. So
Yeah, it's that was we were shooting episode 3, and we're in our beautiful set designed by Susie Mancini, our production designer. And it was Paula and Mark and Keke. And it was the day that everything clicked, both tonally and with the cast. They were just cracking each other up. The crew was laughing. When everyone on set was giggling. I like the sound guy had to shush me a couple of times. I was like this, and it just when it feels like that on set, and we were so lucky to have that energy throughout. We were just having fun, and when you have fun filming it, and people are laughing, then you know that there's going to be an audience who has fun with everybody too. Like our cast really loved each other, and you see that genuine bond, I think, comes across on screen and is true to who they are in life. The group chat was going off when we got renewed. We had so much
Oh
fun.
my God. I
But
love it.
that scene's amazing. I really, I this fight scene also in that episode where Rob and Samira kind of come to a head, and it's like, oh no, mom and dad are fighting. They were just, it was such a turn from the heightened humor to like really, I felt everyone on set was just like, oh my God, like and Kiki and Jack just really went there, and it just felt real and true and heartbreaking. And you kind of buy into this couple, rooting for them, and then
Yeah.
this happens, and I think it just to watch it to watch them play that and also to see it on screen was I think it really resonates.
So when you heard of the season 2 renewal, where were you? What was what was that moment like for you?
I will tell you the truth. We were primed to possibly get a second season. And I
Okay.
was in our old offices, and we had a Zoom, and it was like, okay, now you can go. And we were literally in the writer's room already. We started on Wednesday. We started right after that.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
quick turnaround. But until it's in deadline, it's not official. So once we had that official
Until it's
call,
in deadline. That is
like
so
I
true.
need to see the headline. I need to know. Like I always tell my mom, who does her best to to understand the business. I'm like, until you're on your couch watching it, you
That's
never
right.
know. So until that moment came, I didn't breathe a sigh of relief, but I was hopeful and anticipating. But it was such a great thing when Peacock said yes again.
I'm so happy for you. I am so
Thank you.
thrilled. If you are willing to share anything, do you know what direction you're going to take with season 2? Just a little tidbit, a little teaser,
Yeah.
if you may.
But I think you can expect to see more thriller, more heightened stakes, more twists and turns, more really leaning into that propulsive mystery, but still getting these moments of heart and humor with all of our characters that we've come to know and love.
Do you feel like you're going for a like 8 episode
It'll be
season?
8 episodes, yes. You'll see the eight
Okay.
episodes again. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you gave me a little bit more than what I thought that you would. So
Okay.
I appreciate
I hope
it.
not too much.
So I just want to say thank you so much for your time today. It was such a pleasure meeting you. You are a ball of light. Of course, you are the
Thank you.
machine behind this show. It all makes sense. And I cannot wait for season 2 to hit the big screen.
Thank you, Latasha. It was so
And
nice
I'm
to talk to
very
you.
happy for you and the team, everybody. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm
I'll talk to
thrilled.
you
It
soon.
was so nice to talk to you.
You
Bye.
as well. Bye bye.